Congratulations, United States, on labor law. Not labor law, Labor Day. This is a bank holiday for you in the United States and only there because the rest of the world is celebrating Labor Day May 1st. But you chose, and I think a bit wisely, to have it on mosquito? No, to choose to have it on a day that is not tampered with communism. Because you might not know this, but May 1st was decided on the Second Internationale, which was a bunch of Marxists and other morons. Yeah, Jesus Christ, mosquito, stop being here. And that was in the 1880s. But 1894, somebody said President Grover Cleveland signed the law in 1894 and decided, no, not us, we're not doing commie stuff. So they chose to do the American way. And I think that was a wise choice. And even though I am a union rep and I do labor law, I will never become a commie. I have no, just no. And hello, folks. I see Jackpot Springs, Angel Australia, Rabbit Glowy. Oh, who can that be? Anonymous blocked called who? Oh, it's you. Yeah, it's you. I'm so bad with names. I'm so horrible with names. Ghostery. Okay, so we have one glowy and one ghostery. Oh, you okay? Rossman Ranch, Neodark Matter, and Digger 420. Thank you for showing up. Well, I have invited a bunch of folks. I have no idea if they will show up. But I mean, Labor Day in the United States is a family holiday, mostly. So many might want to spend time with family, obviously. But there are a bunch of people who just simply, for different reasons, can't. So, yeah, let's. And then you also have people who actually work today, who keep the society running, even though the rest of us can have a day off as a bank holiday. So whoever you are, if you're listening from your semi-truck, if you're listening from a fast food restaurant, if you're a hospital, and thank you for keeping society functioning. I hope you get well paid for this day, because it will be one of the subjects, because I recently learned, and I went, oh, that somewhere in the United States, I don't know if it's on federal level or on state level, some 2-hour world decided that there should be a wage limit on overtime. Seriously? And many people, they were out a couple of weeks ago, oh, we are going to raise the roof for overtime pay. And there's a ceiling for overtime. If you work hard and accept overtime at a certain level, you don't get 1.5 times pay. Screw that in the worst possible way. If you work one job, two job, some people work 3 jobs to get everything together, just because they might get up to the threshold, You're not supposed to get 1.5 times over. That's insanity. Change that immediately. But yeah, that's one of. Now I promised. I said in the description, and I said this is a beer and barbecue. Now I don't have American beer. I have this Swedish beer. It's a porter, and it is of this color. But also barbecue. And the lineup today is potato salad, diced potato, boiled a bit, covered in mayo, hot sauce, uh, salt and pepper, and a crap ton of garlic. Eh? Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, I think. Tasted amazing. And it smells like I'm not having any company. And next in the lineup is ribs, of course. You have to have ribs. And this is, I started out with just ribs and covered it in sriracha sauce, but tasted it and no, not quite there. So I added on a bit of Bring the Pain hot sauce, and now it has a bit of a bite. And then also I, of course, burgers. Ah, about a kilo of minced meat, salt, pepper, folded, not folded, in a bowl, and then smash. Add cheese. I have some chipotle mayo. I have buns and oh, you asshole! Uh, I had bacon. Jingles. I, I think Jingles stole my bacon. Yeah, so okay. I guess I'm just having burgers in buns. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ, you asshole. Oh, well. Oh, oh no, nothing upsets Jingo's stomach, and if it does, I will find out. Oh, God. I mean, I had it here, but yeah, no longer here. Ah, oh. Oh, you asshole. Ah. Whew. Ah. All right. Whew. Yeah, yeah, a kid is having his own Labor Day weekend celebration. Uh, now, of course, do I have anything American? Yes. I don't have proper red, blue, and white, so I have my jacket, and there's some blue and white here. This is my team's color, by the way, blue and white, sky blue, ordinary blue, and white. And I also, just to have something American, yeah. Yeah, so something here is actually American. America! Oh, that was funny. Yeah, but let's start making a burger. And it's, yeah, bun, chipotle, mayo, and burger. And here it's supposed to be bacon. Top bun. Let's have a little chipotle mayo on that too. Yeah, just a burger. What? I'm having barbecue. Making people. I wrote in the description beer and barbecue and beer burger. No, I have potato salad. I couldn't find freedom fries. So, mm. The lettuce, onion, and tomato. Nowhere near this. But since this is a genuine American holiday, and it's with a Swedish guy, so let's make it even less American. Hi, you.
Hey, how's it going? Even less American.
Yeah. So we are people with very few ties to America who are celebrating American Labor Day.
Sure. And it's Tuesday here and a work day.
Yeah. I'm still on my
Sure.
vacation. So, yeah.
You are on your
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah, 5 weeks paid vacation.
5 weeks.
5
Wow.
weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's almost like you're a kid
Yeah. It's,
or a teacher.
Or a teacher. Well, teachers have longer. Teachers
They
in
do have
Sweden
longer.
they have 5 week paid vacation, but then they have 3 week, which they have this. Let's go on a course, which is online with 100%. I mean, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good for them. Good for them. They have
yeah, that's true.
they have a
yeah,
hell
don't
rest
start
of
me.
the year. How are you doing? This early
Look,
morning there, right?
it's 6:15 a.m. and
Okay.
it's actually the sun's coming up. I've been awake for an hour or so because I usually stream around now. Usually
Okay.
a trial, but
Okay.
we are myself and Sal usually do a dual stream around now. We have no testimony because California is also on Labor Day.
Yeah.
Hello, Dirk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
aren't you lovely?
Most things are closed down. I don't have. It's Monday, still here, and no trial day. We are still wait. I'm still waiting for the Dinkins trial.
The Dinkins
To
trial. Well,
Yeah,
you're waiting for a verdict, aren't you?
yeah, yeah,
And
uh,
that's with a judge, and he can take as long as he likes, really. Or she, isn't it?
yeah. It's a he, and he can take as long as he wants. And
Yeah, take his grand old time.
yeah, but I
Mm.
would assume a couple of weeks maybe. But I will still cover it
They
just
do
in
take a
case.
while, don't they? The bench
Yeah,
trials.
yeah. Apparently, because I've seen on court TV that they expect it to take at least 2 weeks.
Mm.
Oh, hello, thief! My cat ate my bacon.
The
This
cat ate your
burger was
bacon.
this burger was supposed to have bun, meat, cheese, bacon, bun. And I looked for my bacon, and it was gone. Asshole.
Ooh.
And you are not getting anything more, you.
Did the cat take your bacon?
Yeah,
Did
the
it?
cat ate my bacon.
The cat ate your bacon? Really? Well, that reminds me, and can I do a little grift?
Of course.
Because
Grift away,
thank
grift
you,
away.
thank you. Because in just over 24 hours, in fact, 26, 27 and a half hours, the dingo ate my baby is happening right on my channel, actually. And guess what? I have great news. Mr. Steve Gosney is joining me on my little channel. And I just did a little Cockney accent, which is silly. Um, yes, Steve has agreed to join me because Nick, you're busy tomorrow.
Um,
And remember, I
hmm,
asked you, and you're
yeah.
busy tomorrow, and that's okay. You didn't have a day off. Um,
Um,
and but Mr. Steve is joining me, which is
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
And
And
also,
yeah, because that's interesting because tomorrow, my time in about 19 hours, I'm going to have Steve Gosney on as a replacement for David for Jody Day. So
we just swap and change
yeah,
people around, don't we? We're just like,
yeah.
oh, you'll do.
Here's
No,
Gosney, and then
dun, dun, dun. That's funny. Um, well, I'm like, yay! I get Steve, yay!
yeah,
But
that's no,
that's
go on, go
amazing.
on. It's
That's
grift away.
amazing.
I
So
I
for
I
me, I'm
have a
like, yeah, you eat. Um, I'm like, wow! I get the legend Steve on my little channel, and David. And Sal and Jamie are joining me too, and we're going to do the follow up to the little pre record that I did about the actual original case from 1980 from our country, which was just an absolute travesty of justice. This lady, yeah, she took her little 9 week old baby to Uluru, which is Ayers Rock in the middle of our country, and a dingo really did take her baby. And yeah, people around the world these days think it's just a line in a movie, but it's
mm,
not. It happened.
mm,
And what
mm,
actually occurred was that the Northern Territory government, which is the area where the incident occurred, didn't
mm,
want there to be any problems with tourism. They didn't want people to stop coming to the rock because they didn't want people to think it was dangerous
mm.
there. And so they decided to put the bitch in jail. That was
Yeah,
actually the wording.
yeah, and
And
I remember it because that was world news at the
it
time.
was, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So you
everybody
remember it
believed it.
happening, do
And
you?
yeah,
Mm.
and then the movie with Sam Neill came out, and
Meryl Streep.
yeah,
Meryl Streep.
and
She did a
then
fantastic job.
yeah, and then all of
Mm.
a sudden, oh, they found the baby, and
Not
that
the
I didn't.
baby, the jacket.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, no, the baby. Baby was never found. The baby was well and
yeah,
truly gone.
yeah, the
Yeah,
dingo really, yeah,
really did
Jesus,
eat the
yeah.
baby.
Mm.
But yeah, if it hadn't
Well,
been
then,
for a hiker that was
mm,
climbing the rock a few years later, having fallen to his death,
mm,
um, and actually being mauled by dingoes, strangely enough, because dingoes do actually maul people,
yeah,
and they do like human blood. If it hadn't been for that, then the little jacket that the baby had been wearing wouldn't
mm,
have been found in the red dirt a few years later. And if it hadn't been for that, she would probably still be in jail.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's something somewhere said that. Nope, nope, nope.
yeah.
You got to write that wrong, and because
Indeed.
the
However,
circumstances are.
crazy. What I'm
Mm,
going to show, though, and it's going to be very interesting, is a little bit of a contrast between those times and the different culture and now. Because
mm,
what we see a lot now is people being tried by media, and also the way that people react to defendants' body language. And I know that this
mm,
gets a lot thrown around in our
mm,
circles, that people get online and they go, oh, their face isn't reacting the way my face would react, and they're not doing the kind of things that I would do in that situation. And that was much the case with Lindy. Like, she didn't react the way someone would react. She was very cold, people would say, and she seemed very calculated. She was talking about her baby in a way that people would were saying that that doesn't sound right. She doesn't look right. She's not sad enough. She's not. She's talking about it in a really detached kind of way. And that was back in 1980. Imagine if that happened now. And it does. Those things do happen now. We pull
Yeah.
those things apart, and it's amazing that in a different culture, in a different time, the exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, want to have a bit of a chat about that with my guests, and it should be really interesting. I hope you all join me.
If I'm available, I will.
Oh, please, I'll send you a link.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
do you say? 28 hours from now?
So 6 p.m.
Or
Eastern in
6 p.m.
US time.
Eastern on
Sorry, not
Tuesday.
6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's 12. That's midnight my time. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Maybe
yeah.
you'll get away with
If
that.
if I can, the day after I'm meeting up with David and Baker in Helsingborg.
Yeah.
So we have an actual physical meeting with Baker and David on Wednesday. So that will be amazingly fun.
That would be so great. And yeah, it'll only be an hour, hour and a half, something like that.
Mm.
But I've got police like audio, because the police actually used to have tapes of themselves talking to one another. And I've got them actually conspiring with one another to like plant evidence.
Mm.
It's full on. So cool.
Oh, you asshole cat! Stop stealing my stuff! Get out of here! Now you tried to steal one of my burger buns for some odd reason. You don't eat bread.
Really, Digger 420. Do you remember it too? Yeah. Well, I was just a baby
Oh.
when she was getting out of jail.
Mm. Well,
Yeah.
in 1980, I wasn't fully an adult, but I had entered my around then. Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
it was world news for a long time, and here in Australia, like, she was just a divisive figure for decades. Like, the newspapers could not stop putting her on the front cover because people just loved to gossip about it and come up with theories
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
like, the daughter's name, Azaria, was sacrifice in the night. That was what it was supposed to mean.
Oh, yeah. But imagine if that happened now with the media attention and the YouTubes, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't have mattered if they found the girl, because everybody, oh, she probably did it anyway.
Oh, no, that is, it's still, like, even when they found the jacket, it was like public opinion was already so far against her anyway. Like, there was no convincing a lot of people, like a lot of people. Like, I asked my mom the other day, because like she was obviously an adult at the time, and I said to her, "Oh, did you think she was guilty?" And like, she could barely remember it. And she goes, "I think I probably did. Yeah, I think she was. Yeah."
Yeah, but these things come back again and again, and we have the Zachariah Anderson case that ended badly. Then we had the Michael Turney, who was actually acquitted by the judge by directed verdict. There is, or not acquitted as in innocent, but no normally functioning human can look at the evidence and find him guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't
It
stop
should
half the
never have
crime
gone to
tube.
trial.
Yeah, but that didn't stop half the crime tubers, which, yeah, I mean, that says more about them, I think, if they don't agree with an actual verdict.
No,
Mm,
exactly. But
mm,
like the thing
mm,
is, like there's usually a preliminary hearing or something that is
mm.
supposed to stop these things going to trial if there's no evidence, right?
Yeah,
So
and
I
yeah,
mean, or
somehow,
a
yes,
coronial inquest or something like that.
mm, yeah,
Um,
somehow this survived the grand jury. And
Grand jury.
I
I mean,
have,
I've got a thing about grand juries. What's going on
yeah,
with this whole thing? Like the
yeah,
secrecy involved in that, and the fact that there can be hearsay.
yeah. They, the prosecution chooses what to play for the grand jury, what evidence to show.
It just
And
sounds like a
from
big
that,
prosecution party to me. Like,
yeah, yeah, and
what?
I don't get it because
I just
if
don't get it.
anything is more prejudicial than probative, it has to be a grand jury because
I don't understand.
they only have the prosecution, and I don't get it.
I'm
I don't get
super
it.
confused by
Mm,
the whole concept of a grand jury. Like,
mm,
I'm clearly not educated to a point where I mean, I
mm,
get that you need to not tip off the defense or the defendant
mm,
as to what's going on, and that in order to stop more crime occurring or
mm,
especially if it's like organized crime or there's a way that the crime can continue and
mm,
that they can therefore they
mm,
can mold their defense in such a way that
mm.
it
Yeah, yeah.
it's able
If,
to fit
mm,
around what the prosecution
mhm,
is putting forth.
mm,
So I get
yeah.
that part. But
For instance, in the Murdoch case, in that grand jury,
mm,
lead detective stood in front of the grand jury and said, "We found blood on Murdoch's T-shirt."
yeah,
And then here's that's this, it wasn't tested yet. Then they tested it, and it
yeah,
wasn't blood.
it wasn't
Then,
blood.
oopsie. Mm, I mean,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing. That's the thing. And like what I've noticed is it's incredibly easy to I like the word bamboozle. Like it's very easy to bamboozle uneducated people, and when I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean uneducated people are just lay people, right?
yeah,
So it's very easy to bamboozle uneducated people with a lot of information,
yeah,
right? And a narrative, right? So
mm,
I will I will obviously buy a narrative if I only hear that narrative and the narrative is very convincing and it's sold to me by experts. Um, and the other side of experts and narrative doesn't weigh up.
mm,
So, and that's what happens, and that's what happened in the Lindy Chamberlain case. The the public bought a narrative that
mm,
seemed to make complete sense.
yeah,
And I think that's what happened with Murdoch's case. Like the public bought
yeah,
a narrative that seemed
mm,
to add up
mm. Yeah,
because it
because it was a embezzlement trial that had some in. They mentioned murder a couple of times,
yeah.
and I would assume even I don't know what they are going to talk about tomorrow, or if it was today about newfound evidence of sorts.
Oh,
I
who's
have
going to
no
talk tomorrow? Sorry.
the Murdoch defense team,
Oh,
or if that I don't know if it was today or if it is tomorrow, but they are going to have a press conference about some form of newly discovered evidence.
really? I didn't
Mhm.
know that.
And yeah,
Okay.
and
Ooh.
for me, okay, that's nice, but as long as this verdict stands with all the scamming and fraud and everything, I mean, I don't get how any of that came in. They claimed, oh, it shows motive.
The motive that they
No,
came up with didn't make any sense.
yeah, yeah, because somehow, oh, look at all the people you scammed. Yeah, here's the thing: scammers rarely, if ever, kill people, especially not their own family. And he was still Yeah, I know.
Okay, hang on a minute. So
Yeah.
just like let's go back. Let's go back
Hmm?
to the motive. So the motive
Yeah.
was that everything was about to go boom that
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So he wanted to deflect attention
Yeah.
from all of
Himself.
the
Yeah.
from himself and all of the stuff that was about to go down in his
Hmm?
like life of financial crimes,
Yeah.
right? And all the people that he had cheated and done out of money, etc. All that stuff that was about to happen because he'd been found out,
Mm.
that was all about to just like his life was about to fall apart. And so in order to deflect attention and get sympathy for
Mm.
himself, he decided to shoot his son and wife.
Mm.
Hmm. That's silly.
Sorry.
That's
Now,
silly.
yeah. Now,
Yeah,
for a normal functioning brain, that's silly. If
yeah.
you think, okay, let's assume they're somewhat correct. Okay, he needs to deflect. His dad is already dying,
Yeah,
who was a highly respected lawyer.
agree.
Everybody,
Yeah.
yeah, then once he passed away a few days later, the entire city was on a standstill.
Mm,
Or simply as most scammers are cowards, he could have ended himself. And he actually tried later on. But deflecting,
supposedly.
yeah, deflecting that, please don't look at me because I scams. Let's shoot my wife and my favorite son.
Mm. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not the most believable narrative. And Jenny Graham, I saw your comment there, and I'm sorry. Um, and I'm sure it does happen. Nothing. There are always things that
Mm,
happen to people.
mm,
However,
mm,
just in this instance, in terms of if the prosecution are to come up with a scenario, that isn't the most convincing narrative that I could come up with.
mm. Yeah.
It's not.
Then,
It's not. It's not like ducks in a row. It's not like this happened,
uh,
this happened, this happened.
yeah. And then everything happened in 11 minutes.
Yeah,
11 to
and then the
13
11
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
For him
and
to get from candles, blasting everything out, managed to, somewhere between there and the house, clean up
mm,
everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I don't know. He probably might have been involved. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he did it. I don't know.
Yeah. And
Right? I don't
one
know.
of the things, yeah, he bought a lot of drugs. And I would assume when you buy that amount of drugs, I mean, what was it? $50,000 a week drug habit.
That's also weird.
Probably $50,000, yes, but they sold it to him extremely expensive. But
Yeah.
then you don't buy it from ordinary. I would assume ordinary small-time drug dealers. Like here's 50,000. Oh, sure. And then his drug dealer pays 5 grand for these pills and gives. I mean, there's so much money coming around and everything. No. Oh, and
Okay.
also, he pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, no, no shit.
Yeah.
Hence
Mm.
being in that seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if he hadn't pissed off a lot of people, he wouldn't have been in that seat at all. Okay, Nick, what's your
Hmm?
theory? I want to hear your theory. I've asked MLS his theory. on stream, and he gave it to me. I would like your theory, please.
I think there's two different. One, he saw it happen, but by someone else who he owes a crap ton of money.
He saw it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, that's one. And the other is he actually didn't know until he came home. People were waiting.
Didn't know until he came home and people were waiting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, people were waiting to, okay, now he's leaving. Let's move in.
Mm-hmm.
And probably when he got home, he called, then he hung up. Somewhere around then, he finds out from someone, good luck. And not that I have much evidence to base that on, but then again, neither did the prosecution with their theory. So these are it. So for me, there are three equally probable.
Yeah.
But none of it is him doing it all by himself.
No.
So that is the least. Say it was four different theories. He did it with somebody. He saw it happen.
Yeah.
He didn't see it happen, and there was someone else.
Yeah.
And he did it by himself, all alone, and managed to get rid of every shred of evidence. And managed to have her phone and his phone and car move at the same time half a mile away.
Yes.
So I don't really. I have had this discussion last couple of days on Twitter that there is only three evidence that matters. It's his phone, his car, Maggie's phone. These are the three evidence that matters. Because I don't care. I care, but the other 99 evidence points at him. They do. But here's the thing.
Agreed.
He has to be at the exact location for it to happen.
Yes.
And he wasn't. So
what do you think about the guinea fowl and the, what's it? It's a chicken. It's a guinea fowl. He's in the that video.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like nothing. The only thing that is different from his ordinary day is that two people are dead. Everything else could have happened any other day.
Could have.
Him going to his dad's, the dog ate the chicken, everybody. I mean, everything about that was a perfectly normal
day.
Pill-filled day for him. Yeah.
Look, I can't do American accents at all, let alone Southern accents. So.
Well, technically, you have a very Southern accent.
Yeah, very. It's super
far south.
Yeah, it is. It's like the South Pole. Yeah. MG Law, what are you saying?
I think MG Law says he was there and was forced to watch. It was a drug cartel hit to send a message, or he was confronted with them as hostages, and he was rushing away to try and find some way to fix things. Yeah, that might be it. Damn, we need $500,000. I don't have $500,000. Well, you better fix it. And they didn't care while he was away, searching my dad's home or whatever. Please let him have stashed money somewhere.
He was rushing away to try and find some way to fix things, and that's why he sped away in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possible.
Yeah.
And that
MG Law.
lines.
Yeah. I sent you the link, MG, so you can show up if you want to, and tell us yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
I
on the
mean,
menus.
and that's the thing, and regardless, there was very little. I mean, what I like to talk about, and what I hope my channel will become, is a lot more talk about what people are talking about and the general view from the public, and the fact that general view from the public, the
Mm.
fact that people just were so for the state
Yeah.
on this one. Like
Mm.
they just had it in for this dude
Mm.
from day one, before day one. It was like, we're going to go get him. There's not
Mm.
one law for him and different law for everybody else. He
Yeah.
did this thing. And also, by the way, have you seen the Netflix videos? Have you seen
Yeah.
them? And it's
Yeah.
like,
The Netflix
oh,
documentary was out before the trial concluded. And
oh,
seriously?
there,
And the judge who
well before the
everything
trial
in.
concluded, long
Yeah.
time before, people were talking about like
Yeah.
stuff that was in those, and I'm talking about stuff about
Mm.
Buster and that dude
Mm.
and
Mm.
the boat
Mm.
crash and
Yeah.
just
Mm.
complete utter
Yeah.
conjecture, like
Yeah.
garbage
A
gossip.
lot of people did not like him. And
Ah,
I mean, then they have the gunshot wound in that angle. I mean, the back of the shotgun more or less had to be below ground for it to make sense,
yeah,
to make it go that way. And still, the prosecution said, no, 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 he shot him from above. And there was virtually no expert said that that's not the way it happens. I mean, it's boom and splat.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
The
it's
fight between the experts was just
mm,
comical.
yeah,
Like it was an entertaining trial. I gotta give it to him. Like
yeah. It
that
was
was fun
really
to
entertaining.
watch.
Yeah,
It was a very very fun trial to watch.
yeah.
Like I mean the guy who threw the phone around, that was
Oh
hilarious.
Jesus Christ! It should
Jesus,
have been a mistrial then and there.
that was ridiculous. I mean,
Mm,
come on now. I mean, everyone enjoyed that. And like I gotta
mm,
say that the law and crim people,
mm,
the true crime people,
mm,
us, all of us,
mm.
we equally enjoyed the guy
Yeah,
who threw the
yeah.
phone around. If
And
everyone could enjoy that, then
mm,
we're all happy.
yeah, it was funny, but I still don't understand how it was allowed in. He was not a phone throwing around.
Okay,
Um, I I mean, he was
that brings
just
me to
there
Newman.
because the prosecution needed to explain why the sudden change in from horizontal to vertical. Oh, it can
Oh,
happen. I threw around it. Okay, did you record it? No. How many times did you did it? I have no idea. I mean, if I was that guy's boss, he would not have a job. And I'm saying that as a junior rep. If you, because as I've had employees before, and whatever they do reflects back on me. So if anybody does something that moronic, that reflects back to me because I probably trained him. I mean, no, no.
look. Okay. Hey, this way up. Is that your name because of that? Like this way up? That would be funny.
Mm,
Um. Anyway, don't start me on Judge Newman.
mm,
Like
no,
he would just I'm sure he leaves all his windows and doors open all the time.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, he just leaves everything open. Nah, just
mm,
leave it open.
mm.
Let it all in. Let everything in.
Yeah. Let's allow
And
it in,
people
and we will
love
see what
him.
happens down the line. And But no, that's not how it's supposed to be. The prosecution has to explain to you why why they want it in,
Mm.
and then you make a ruling. You know, let's see. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you know what? Let it in.
Mm. And then his speech, afterwards, yeah, what he did was a heinous crime, and he, so you had your mind
Mm,
made up.
Maybe,
Sorry.
maybe, you're right. Maybe it was the monster you've become.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ.
God's sake.
Yeah, but apparently the defense they didn't want the trial out of the county. And that might have been a huge mistake because,
That's cool. This way up,
uh,
sorry.
okay, yeah. Damn it.
You're funny.
Hmm.
It's like max power, you know. I got off the side of the hairdryer.
Hmm? Hmm.
Anyway.
Well, I dosed the ribs in sriracha, and it wasn't spicy enough, so I added on bring
Ah,
the
bring the
pain.
pain.
Yeah,
Right. See, you need to up your tolerance levels, dear me.
yeah.
You're a little bit too pale,
Mm.
bit too white over there, Mr. Scandinavian. Yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
I should be much better at it.
you should be.
Mhm.
Can't handle your chilies. I'm disappointed.
Well, I had a chili eat for Super Chats a couple of weeks ago. That was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah. I started out with some homegrown chilies, and those were
oh,
unexpectedly hot.
really?
And
Homegrown
yeah,
ones. How big were they?
it's the it's called a blondie, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be medium, somewhere uh, halfway to habanero.
Mm.
But apparently, how uh, my soil and fertilizer and everything, and it was hotter than a habanero. And then I finished off the night with but you know scorpion butterloki or something of that sort. And
Mhm.
yeah, that took me a good 10 minutes to breathe again.
Well, I haven't had anything cause me any trouble like that for a long time. I've
Mm,
been acclimatizing myself um,
mm,
with Indian food, and
okay.
yeah, so generally, nah, no problems. But what I
Mm,
find with those sauces is they don't have much flavor. Like once they
yeah.
get to that point where they're trying too hard to like burn you,
Mm,
then the flavors they don't have any flavor in them anymore.
mm,
They overdo it with the pepper.
yeah.
So it's like,
Mm,
what's the point? You're just trying to hurt me. Like,
yeah.
and
And it's
yeah,
just,
there's
oh,
no flavor
look,
there
I have
anymore.
look at my big cojones, I can eat this one.
Pretty
But
much, that's all it is.
then you have people like Ian who has a natural resistance to capsaicin. Around
Mm,
5% of the population has that natural. They
mm,
are more or less immune to capsaicin.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's unfair. Asshole, you already ate my stuff. Get out.
Is that your cat's actual name?
What?
Is your cat really called asshole?
No, no, it's Jingles. I just call him asshole when he eats my stuff. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
yeah.
pop out in about 5 minutes because I have another
No,
stream.
no
Um,
worries.
yep. But
Thank you for showing up and everything. And
that's okay. If
I'm
you're
going to
still if you're still around in an hour or two, I might come back. But
maybe I've
don't know.
invited people, and I'm having more stuff to eat, and I'm going to talk about Labor Day.
time is it there? What time is it there, by the way?
11 p.m. here in the
Okay,
evening.
okay, because you people in Europe, it's really hard for me to catch you guys because, like, I could actually, weirdly enough, I can catch the US people easier than I can catch the European people.
Mm,
Because you guys are awake when
mm.
it's my evening, I think. Like, you
Yeah,
guys get up
I
kind
think
of
you're
around my dinner time, I think,
I
like,
mean, it's
sort of,
11 p.m. now here, and it's around 7 p.m. A.m. where you are, so you're
yeah, it
6
is.
hours ahead, and
Yeah,
I am 6 hours ahead of Eastern US. So
yeah.
it's a perfect roll around.
It is.
6 hours
It's kind of
apart
like
everywhere.
you take one shift, I take another shift,
Yeah.
and then like
Mm,
Farrell and I, we we take because she stays up most of the night usually,
mm,
and I stay up all the way till about like I don't know 11
mm.
p.m. And so
Yeah.
we cover like 18 hours of the day, and we
Mm,
only like cross
mm.
over about six
Yeah.
hours. Only
Yeah.
lose about six
And
hours. So between us, we cover most of the day.
yeah. And then I cover the last part because at 3 p.m. here is 9
Yeah,
a.m. Eastern, which is a
yeah.
normal start for a trial. So I get all the work done.
Yeah.
Then I
Okay,
get
that
home.
works out.
Yeah, so that works out. And so it's 8 hours of work, 8 hours of stream,
Yeah,
sleep, and half an hour, and then restart again.
sleep for half an hour. Yeah. Wait, unfortunately for me, I can't really start a like if I were to live stream a trial starting
Mm,
at the beginning of a US day, I would have to stay up pretty much all night.
yeah.
Um, which is a bit of a problem. But
Mm,
fortunately for me, I have a bunch of friends over at MLS, and
mm,
I have people who can sort of do the morning shift.
mm.
So Mo at the moment is doing the morning shift of the Purse House trial, which is uh, the guy who was the boyfriend of that sex therapist. You heard about
Oh,
that one?
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's juicy. Ugh,
Mm,
yep. And so she does the
yeah.
mornings, and Sal and I are doing the afternoons, and that's actually that works out really well.
Mm,
It's like 6 a.m.
yeah.
6 a.m. my time. We tend to
Mm,
do that one.
yeah. It's a trial full of the porn stars and stuff like that who goes up on the stand and says, "Yes, I have made very good choices in my life, and therefore I'm here to testify."
Did you see one of them? One of them was an okay kind of looking female,
Mm,
and MLS was in chat, and he was like, she's kind of cute, right? And then Shizzy was in chat going, that's a dude, right? And
oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he messaged me, right? And he's like, see, he's got a link, right?
mm,
And it's a dude, right? And so I sent him a link to come into on
mm,
stream, and we stopped everything. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
And he's like, he's got evidence, right? He's got evidence it's a dude.
mm.
It was a dude,
Yeah.
like fully confirmed that was a dude, right? yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've heard about that. His mishap in the chat. Yep.
You heard?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I didn't hear it and I didn't see it, but I've heard other people reference to it.
Lol.
Yeah,
David took it really well.
yeah.
David
And
took it really.
me and Baker, we will meet him on Wednesday. Might come up. We'll
It
just
might
point,
come up.
dude, girl. Just to point because
He
it's a new
he has
country for
been
him. And,
he's been really he's taken everything in his stride, and I gotta
mm,
say the man
mm,
is like
yeah.
quite comfortable with all of his comments that he's made.
Mm,
So it's on the record.
mm.
I
Okay, let's
think all
see.
right, I'm
And
gonna have to
now,
leave unfortunately because I
yeah.
have another thing to go to.
Mm,
Thank you
no
everybody.
worries.
Have a
Yeah,
wonderful
thank
day.
you.
Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, happy Labor Day to United States, which was yesterday for for you.
For me, and not even
Go
Labor Day.
over.
And
Yeah,
I really hope to see you tomorrow, Nick. I'll send you a
mm,
link.
yeah.
And yep, come along to my
If I
Dingo Live tomorrow, six
yeah,
thirty p.m. Eastern. And yeah, if you can't, that's totally cool. Also,
mm,
no worries. But maybe if
yeah,
you could just like watch along, that'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Bye,
All right.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was a good hour of not Labor Day stuff. Uh, I've invited people, but then again, people have families and stuff like that. But let's move on to while I can try to dun dun dun. Maybe a few of you don't know about Labor Day. That well, maybe a few of you think, okay, Labor Day, yay! We are a bank holiday. No, it's not a bank holiday. It's a workers' holiday. It's a bank holiday too, but mainly it's because laborers. So let's just from PBS from last year. Uh, Labor Day has been a national holiday since 1894, when President Grover Cleveland signed the law that Congress passed designating the first Monday in September a holiday for workers. So banks shouldn't be closed if it's a holiday for workers? Huh? Okay. Labor unions pressed and activists sacrificed to gain recognition of both their contributions and the mistreatment of workers at the time. Yeah, 1894 was a completely different things. Completely different thing. The origin of the holiday are in parades to celebrate trade and labor unions whose members strengthened their country with their work. And okay, then they have history of Labor Day. Okay, the Pullman strike. That's interesting. But yeah, that's a bit about it as well. But yeah, yeah, I would assume so. Same was over here in Europe regarding May 1st. It took a good number of years before our governments said, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Dave Umbarger, Teamster, local 162. Okay. Teamsters are up in the Supreme Court, or was it concluded? Teamsters quotas. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. It was Glacier Northwest, including Teamster. Yeah, it was that case when they waited to pull people out in strike. They waited until the concrete cars were filled up. Then they pulled them out. Yeah, so that was done in. Okay, I might read that someday. If that happened here in Sweden, people was going to be in jail. Just saying, you're not. If you actively try to sabotage for a company that may or may may is enough financial damage, you're out of there, no matter which union you are to. Okay, so Jimmy Hoffa was his boss. Well, you did haul concrete. Okay. Mm. We call it May Day in the UK. They stopped it being called Labor Day because one of the political parties are called Labour here. Yeah. And over here, it's just called May 1st. But May 1st is recognized as a holiday. And right wingers wants to stop it, and no, we don't. But I hear that yeah, there's a few more. Yeah, so I'm going to keep having my barbecue potato salad this time. Mm. That was a good one. So potato, salad, burgers, and ribs, and beer. That's a good way. Mafia and unions have an interesting history together, more or less everywhere. Let's just say that. Okay, delicious potato salad. Yeah, it is diced and slightly boiled potatoes, mayo, hot sauce, garlic, salt and pepper. Yeah, you don't need more. You don't need more. It's a crap ton of garlic. This is a sleeping by myself kind of garlicky. And it's amazing. Hey, MLS. Aren't you on a plane? MLS is calling us from the sky. This way up. Need to go hospital appointment in the morning. First thing in the morning. Good luck on tomorrow's appointment. I hope everything is well and goes well. And I do not provide legal, medical, or cooking advice. I can say how I cook it. I will not tell anybody else how you should cook it. No such thing as too much garlic. Depends on who you ask. I believe garlic is an excellent cure for colds and people and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't mind garlic at all. But let's keep reading a bit more from this. The revolutionist Eugene V. Debs. Eugene V. Debs organized the Pullman strike in 1894, a nationwide protest that resulted in federal labor laws to protect workers. The strike brought the economy to a standstill and spurred President Cleveland to make Labor Day a national holiday. Debs' dedication to preserving dignity and demanding respect for the American laborer transformed the country. Okay, so they are just having... You know what? Let's see if we can... Eugene V. Debs. We can actually find it. Dun, dun, dun. No. Or was it named Eugene V. Debs? Happy Labor Day, Dave. That's strange. Wicked Psyched says, when I was young, we celebrated May Day by leaving baskets of flowers and treats on people's doors. I don't remember why. I can't help you. I have no clue. Eugene V. Debs. That's his actual name. It's not Eugene versus Debs. Okay. This is when you have read too many court transcripts when you see a middle name that has a V and you automatically thinks, oh, Eugene V. Debs, that must be a court case. No, that's his actual name. Okay. That. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And don't you have any good court cases? Or was it everything? Demonstrations. Oh yeah, minimum wage. That's a crap on the wall. For me, minimum wage decided on by politicians will never turn out well, in my opinion. Minimum wage should be negotiated between a good central labor organization and a good central employees organization. For instance, what is the lowest negotiable salary in Sweden? Is not in any of my areas, but it is of course in restaurants and stuff like that. And I think it is as a monthly salary. The absolute bottom pay is in dollars around $2,400 a month, and that's the absolute bottom pay. You can't go lower than that. And but then again, we don't have costs like you in the United States have. For instance, you have some ridiculous rent prices. Um, let me give you an example. Once downstairs is done here, that would be around 100 square meters apartment with both an ensuite and a bathroom, 3 bedroom, some of the sort. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, it will be around 1,100 square feet. That I can rent out for about $1,500 a month. That's about the market value on it. But the same, for instance, the same, let's say in the United States, half an hour from a city center, which this is. It's rural, but Malmö is about half an hour away. And I would assume similar apartments even a half an hour from a city center in almost anywhere. You're talking about $2,500, $3,000 a month for a 1,100 square feet apartment. And yeah, Stockholm rents may be lower than LA, but you have to wait 30 years to get an apartment. Yeah. My sister has been in a queue for apartments in Stockholm for over 20 years. And she is now starting to get offers, but only for apartments in really crappy areas. So yeah. So rents overall in the United States is ridiculous. And we still have extremely high standard that we must oblige for to even be allowed to rent out. We have to have certain standard. For instance, an apartment built after 2012 has to have wheelchair accessibility. Yeah, that's fun. Which is not only door in. It has to be easily converted bathrooms and stuff like that. And we still can't make the rent the rent the way they are in the United States. So yeah, something needs to be done about rents in burger number two. Mm, mm. That's good. That's good. Mm. And Dave says, in 30 years in the union, we will strike every time a contract expired. It was good times. We disturbed more and got more. Yeah, Sweden has a central agreement which we have to announce a strike well in advance. Otherwise, it's called a wild strike, and then it is by court can say yes or no to it. But we rarely have to reside to a strike because we are a bit sneakier. We can take out, for instance, let's go back 25, 30 years. And we took out, in the initial phase of strike, we took out 10 people. And who did we start with? And any guesses in the chat? Just 10 people in the initial, and this was on a workplace that had combined 3,300 employees. We took out the night shift cleaning crew on strike. So nobody emptied bins during the night. No, everybody was staying late, having dinner at the table, having yeah, it started to smell every time in the morning. And the morning shift, because the company tried to save a bit of money, so they had 2 8-hour shifts, but they wasn't connected. So 8 hours, for instance, from 9 to 5, for instance, and the next one came in 8 to 4 at night. So from 5 in the afternoon until they came back the morning after, nobody emptied anything. And I mean anything. Nobody cleaned up in the bathrooms, nobody. Yeah. That was quite effective. And so when you do have gone that far that you need to strike, there are some ways you can just pinpoint, okay, that person over there, those 3 persons over there. Yeah, you're on strike. Because the company can't just pull in someone to do their work. No. Stop. Ginos thought it would be a great idea to try to steal more food. But no, he already took my bacon. So yeah, bad kitten. So that's a bit of labor sneakiness, so to speak. Melissa says the WGA and SAG strikes have left me without a paycheck. I'm not even a union member. Yeah, that's also a bit strange, because that's a system we don't have in Sweden, because we are, as a union, are responsible for everybody we take out on strike. And we do have the power to take out non-union members into strike, because we don't take people. We take areas, we take workplaces, we take positions, not people. And so that way but then we are responsible for their pay, regardless if they are unionized or not. So I don't know how the WGA and SAG strikes, if they actually pay their members or if they don't. I have no idea. Oh yeah, Matt says we strike without striking. Follow all the rules. That annoys the living F out of certain employers who are extremely vague about rules and everything. And it has happened. I can't go into when and where. That okay? What are your written rules? Well, I have this email from my boss who says, "Do this, do this, do this." Okay. Do you do anything extra? Yeah, I do everything around. It's not in your contract. And all of a sudden, things add up. So yeah. So follow all the rules. Striking is fun. And also, something that is, unless it is apparent, is how to strike is none of this are legal advice. You are not my members. I don't represent you. None of this. We are just discussing different ways. And where was I? Damn, I lost the trail of thought. Which site says in the US, if union workers strike, they are not paid. If they don't attend the strike, they have to pay the union. That's stupid. But some US unions are completely deranged. You have that principle that if we come to negotiate on your workplace, you have to pay us, you have to be a member. And that only tells me you are a horrible union rep and you should immediately resign. Let me give you an example. Again, hi, I'm Nick. I'm a union rep. I do labor law. The workplaces I represent, none of them has below 92% unionized. And I don't need to chase after people because those 5 to 8% that are not unionized, I can survive. The union will survive. We are not dependent on those 5 to 8%. We will negotiate with the workplace because we have an agreement. Now, if it is 80%, 90%, 95%, I don't care. If people come up to me and have questions, of course I will, okay, are you unionized? Sometimes they say no. Okay, I can't help you entirely, but I can point you in the direction you can find information, but I can't help you directly. They accept it. I don't try to force memberships on anyone because I don't have to. My actions speaks for me. I don't have to force anybody. And that's just it. And that, I believe, is one of the major flaws in many American unions. It's all about forcing people to pay to the union. And I guess that is a bit different because the Swedish union, yes, it's social democratic, but it's also a liberal movement. It originated from a liberal movement. We never got the actual communists to run our unions. While United States, not so much. And that is the difference between maybe the democratic choice or the revolutionary choice. Communist or revolutionary, social democrats and liberals are democratic movements. To help with Genius Kitty off-screen antics, donate here. Yeah. Viking Union. Yeah. I mean, if they don't attend the strike, they have to pay the union. That's so stupid. And I've had videos. I have videos up where I discussed how little I care about some American unions. You have that right to work or not right to work, and everybody shared about, oh, now we can have the whatever it's called. That means everybody on that workplace has to be unionized and have to pay us for negotiating. Now, here's the thing so what they are saying is that they are treating their members as forced in customers. They throw you in and make you pay. That sounds a bit like extortion. And yeah, no, I don't mind having a proper union negotiating with a workplace, or even have what you call it in English, a blockade, where unions cooperate because there's a very bad workplace. But I don't get it how you get from there to forcing people in, just, yeah, kind of like the bar association. I wouldn't know. Mad says it's the same in some Danish union. You have to meet up on the picket line. Yeah. What else can we talk about? I know that David, you're on a plane now, aren't you? Apparently you have Wi-Fi. Can you get here? But we're talking about American unions, or Jesus. Labor Day. Let's do the simple way and go into Wikipedia and see what they have to say about it instead. Let's go there. Yeah, like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Where are you? There. Labor Day is a federal holiday in the United States, celebrated on the first Monday in September to honor and recognize the American labor movement and the works and contributions of labor. Beginning in the late 19th century, as the trade union and labor movements grew, trade unionists proposed that the day be set aside to celebrate labor. Labor Day was promoted by the Central Labor Union and the Knights of Labor. Knights of Labor? Which organized the first parade in New York City in 1887. Oregon was the first state in the United States to make it an official public holiday. By the time it became an official federal holiday in 1894, 30 states in the US officially celebrated Labor Day. Canada's Labor Day is also celebrated on the first Monday of September. Okay. And then we have the rest of the world. More than 80 other countries celebrate International Workers' Day on May 1st, the European holiday of May Day. May Day was chosen by the Second International of Socialist and Communist Parties. Yeah, I told you that in the beginning. Parties to commemorate the general labor strike in the United States and even events leading to the Haymarket Affair, which occurred in Chicago on May 1st to May 4th, 1886. So US Labor Day was before May 1st. Hey, how about that? I didn't know that. Let's talk about the Haymarket Affair. The Haymarket Affair, also known as the Haymarket Massacre, the Haymarket Riot. No, that's May 1st. We don't need that. We are talking about American Labor Day. Knights of Labor. What the fuck? That sounds interesting. Officially, Noble and Holy Order of the Knights of Labor was an American labor federation that was active in late 19th century, especially in the 1880s. It operated in the United States as well as in Canada, and had chapters also in Great Britain and Australia. Its most important leader was Terence W. Powderly. The Knights of Labour promoted the social and cultural uplift of the worker, and Jesus Christ, sorry, I have to blow my nose here. Okay. I'm having ribs, burgers, potato salad, and beer, but while MLS Law is having pretzels on the plane. Okay, yeah. Yeah, perhaps not. Enjoy your pretzels, David. There's something about real beef, brown beef burger. Yeah. Well, Knights of Labour promoted the social and cultural uplift of the worker, demanded an 8-hour day. In some cases, it acted as a labor union negotiating with the employers, but it was never well organized or funded. It was notable in its ambition to organize across lines of gender and race and in the inclusion of both skilled and unskilled labor. After a rapid expansion in the mid-1880s, it suddenly lost its new members and became a small operation again. Okay. Wonder why. The Knights of Labour have served, however, as the first mass organization of the Caucasian working class of the United States. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. You know, oh, damn. I forgot. What happened? Why didn't it show? Sorry. Fun fact, the union I represent, the graphics union, is the oldest in Sweden. It was founded in 18... let's see here. 1846. And the main reason was they could read and they could write. So that was the main reason. Let's see here if I can translate a bit for you, so you know a bit about background. The interest for a graphics organization raised in connection with the industrialism growth in Sweden. When farming was... Jesus Christ, I have to translate this. Yes, Mats, as a typesetter union. Translate websites. Dun, dun, dun. There. Share this instead. There. The Swedish Typographic Association was a trade union that grew out of Swedish First Trade Union, the Stockholm Typographic Association, which was formed in 1846. The Swedish Typographers Union was active between the years 1886 and 1973, when it consisted of Grafiska Fackförbundet. Yeah, after 1973, we were swallowed up in a bigger organization. The interest in a typographers union arose in connection with the rise of industrialism in Sweden. As agriculture became more efficient, not as many people were needed in agriculture anymore. Many Swedes abandoned their jobs as farmers, chose to move into the cities and work in industry instead. During the second half of the 19th century, the working conditions in the factories began to be questioned by the workers. The workers considered, among other things, that the wages were poor, that the working day was too long, and that the work was risky. In order to get the employees to meet the workers' demands for better working conditions, the workers joined together and organized and also carried out strike. For example, the Great Stockholm Strike of 1881. It was also during this period that thoughts about organizing through trade unions was raised. And here we have most typographers were literate, which were essential prerequisites for forming trade unions. The typographers thus became one of the first professional groups to form trade unions. In 1752, the printing business in Sweden changed as a result of a royal decree. In connection with this, the printers' owners joined together in a printers' society. A similar association had existed in the past, where the professional group of art connoisseurs was also involved. In 1754, however, the art supporters formed their own association called Book Printers Art and Stuff. In 1841, another support fund was formed, which came to be known as Gutenbergska. Gutenbergska was formed on the initiative of Stockholm's typographers in connection with the 400th anniversary of the invention of the printing press. In 1846, the Typographic Association was formed in Stockholm. Trade union issues had not previously been discussed at the meetings, but in 1858, a printer brought proposals for a wage reduction on the agenda. Yeah, good luck. The association, however, chose not to negotiate or organize a strike on the issue, which is required to be counted as a trade union. In 1872, the Typographic Society in Stockholm became a trade union in connection with a proposal for a wage tariff to the book printers. So yeah, that's a bit neat. Dun, dun, dun. Matt says, apparently the reason why my tax money goes to Scandinavian Airlines is that we can have direct flights to Copenhagen Airport. Yeah, the SAS, the Scandinavian Airlines something, has been in bad shape for 40 years, and they are swallowing billions each year in government subsidiary. Where are all my guests? Huh. I was hoping for some American to show up, but apparently not. But yeah, it's not much I can do about it. I'm out of things to discuss. I was hoping to discuss American Labor Day with people from there, and I'm out of stuff to talk about, and that doesn't happen that often. So, what to do? Dun dun dun. Let's see if I can find anything. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. You know what? I'm going to send you off to Sal instead, so you can yell at him instead. Yeah, I was hoping for a larger celebration, but sometimes stuff just doesn't work out as it should be. Not much we can do about it, but thank you all who showed up, that you showed up. Thank you for allowing me to be your host for an hour and a half at least. I hope we learned something today, and I'm going to finish my burger, ribs, potato salad, and beer, and I'm going to have an excellent evening. I hope you have too. And hug your family. Unless your family is shit, then fuck 'em and spend time with people you enjoy spending time with. All right. That's about it for me. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Talk to you later.